Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our October 2025 City Council meeting for the City of Stillwater. This time, I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask everyone to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This brings us to item 3, the consent docket. Councilors, any items of discussion or motions for the consent docket?
Pull item C, please.
Okay. Any further discussion or motion?
I move approval of the consent docket minus item C.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent docket with item C retracted. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, that item is approved. The next item is item 4, public comment. We have no items on the scheduled for public hearing.
Let's back up. Let's finish up C.
Oh, we need to come back. That's item 5.
Sorry.
So item 5 is items removed from consent docket. Councilor Harden.
Yes. So the only reason I pulled that is I wanted to say how nice things have been looking since we had that landscaping company. I've noticed work they've done. I've seen their trucks around town. I think they did a really good job. I'm glad they're being renewed.
Awesome. Do you have a motion associated with that?
I do. Motion to approve the consent docket item C.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve consent docket item C. Please vote. With the vote of 4-0, that item is approved. That takes us to item 6, resolutions. Item A is resolution number CC-2025-27. Ms. Carnley?
Yes, so the title to this resolution, the proposed resolution, have changed slightly to add authorization for the city manager to enter into negotiations for an agreement between the city and the new nonprofit if the resolution is approved. And as such, I'm going to go ahead and read the full title of the resolution and provide a little bit of background. So resolution number CC 2025-27 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Stillwater, Oklahoma, authorizing and approving transfer of funds held by the Stillwater Public Library Trust to a 501c3 nonprofit serving as a discreetly presented component unit of the City of Stillwater, Oklahoma, for purposes of the city's annual comprehensive financial report, identifying the source of the funding as private donations, although identified on the city's ACFR, approving and authorizing termination of the termination of the Stillwater Public Library Trust, authorizing the 501c3 nonprofit to acquire tax-exempt status as a Type 1 supporting organization for support of the Stillwater Public Library, and authorizing the city manager to enter into negotiations for an agreement by and between the City of Stillwater and the 501c3 nonprofit, which will set forth the express terms and conditions for support of the Stillwater Public Library. So there have been ongoing discussions between representatives of the Library Trust Board and the city about investment of funds for library purposes and the current structure, management, and expenditure and oversight of those funds. The genesis of that, these conversations was the Library Trust Board inquiring about the applicability of different investment statutes to their entity. And as a result, the Library Trust Board retained outside counsel, an attorney who is experienced in working with nonprofits and the related provisions of the IRS tax codes. She has recommended the creation of a new nonprofit corporation exempt as a Type 1 supporting organization with the same board composition of the current trust. The city's CFO and our auditor have both reviewed this proposal and have no objections. So the trust board seeks approval of this resolution to show city council support of that transition. As such, that would allow them to direct their retained attorney to take the necessary steps to transition that entity. So the attached resolution does contemplate the creation of a new 501c3 corporation. It would authorize its application for tax-exempt status as a Type 1 supporting organization. It would authorize transfer of the funds to the new nonprofit corporation, reiterate that the transfer of funds, which came from private donations, is reasonable and proper, and it would authorize termination of the current trust and direct the city manager to negotiate for an agreement between the city and the new corporation. That agreement between the city and the new corporation would address everything from clearly setting out the responsibilities of the trust and the trustees, requiring an investment policy. It would require the filing of a timely audit, and it would clearly acknowledge that this is going to be a separate legal entity apart from the city with its own attorney, bank accounts, and those types of matters. So with that, I would ask that you consider approval of the proposed resolution.
Counselor, is there any further discussion or motions on the resolution?
One quick question. Will the board members carry over from one to the other
Yes, it's my understanding that that is the plan.
with the same terms and all the same situation?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there precedence in other communities like this for library boards?
That's a good question. I don't know that I know that specific answer, but I do know that the attorney that they've retained that's providing them legal advice on this matter is familiar with these types of arrangements with entities that do support the public purposes of organizations that are public, and that's why there's a need for an agreement between the two entities.
So the benefit for the library to do this is they get to, is it flexibility in how they invest the money, their funds?
That's my understanding, that the primary benefit is it would alleviate them from some of the rigid state law investment requirements.
Thank you.
Counselors, any further discussion or motion on the resolution?
I move adoption of Resolution CC 2025-27.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, that resolution is adopted. That moves us to item 7, ordinances. We have 2 ordinances for second read. Ordinance number 3582, an ordinance rezoning property addressed as 1421 West 8th Avenue from small lot single-family residential, RSS, to 2-family and multifamily RT district zoning. Counselors, any discussion or motion?
Motion to adopt ordinance 3582.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Oh, we have, was that the intention?
Nope.
Sorry.
Try it again.
Okay, with the vote of 4-0, that ordinance is adopted. Item B is ordinance 3583, an ordinance to remove property addressed as 517 Southwest Street from the Corridor Redevelopment Area Planning District and zone as Commercial General CG District. Counselors, any discussion or motion?
Motion to adopt ordinance 3583.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, ordinance 3583 is adopted. That moves us to item 8, reports from officers and boards. City Manager Moore.
Yes, thank you. This Thursday, October 23rd, will be the final community open house for our comprehensive plan, Envision 2020 or 2045. This event will be a come and go at the Block 34 Simmons Bank Pavilion from 5:30 to 6:30. So again, this Thursday, 5:30 to 6:30 at the Simmons Bank Pavilion on Block 34. This will be a time for city staff and consultants to share the latest updates on the comprehensive plan. This includes our future land use map, housing, roads, future of economic development aspects, and so much more about our as we look forward to our community in the future. So see what other notes I want to share here. We hope, basically we just hope that you can be there this Thursday evening, again, the 23rd from 5:30 to 6:30 at Block 34. I also just want to give a special thanks to so many that ensured that our community was safe over the homecoming weekend. Our first responders, our city staff that spend countless hours preparing for the homecoming event, and yes, it's a multi-jurisdictional effort, so we appreciate all the folks at OSU, OSU administration, athletics, of course their PD, and all the collaboration to make sure our community has a safe event, even with the changing weather and with all the folks that walk around. So it's a special weekend here in Stillwater, and it couldn't happen without our folks. So I just want to say thanks to them.
Yeah, it's a tremendous, it's so fun to be out at walk around, but then to realize all the back work that happens prior to that event and all of our staff that spend time preparing for that event. It seems easy to all the rest of us as we enjoy the festivities, but certainly a lot of people that have worked really hard to make it that way. Ms. Carnley?
Nothing to report.
Counselor Hawkins, sorry, making my way over.
The Downtown Stillwater Halloween Festival is coming up Tuesday, October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. on Main Street between 6th and 10th Avenues. Bring the family, dress in your best costume, and enjoy an evening full of fun with vendors, games, food trucks, costume contests, and of course trick-or-treating in the heart of downtown Stillwater. Many thanks to the Stillwater Downtown Association for hosting and organizing this annual event.
Counselor Clark?
On Saturday, November 1st, the city's Watershed Quality Division will host its biannual Household Hazardous Waste Collection event. The event will be from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Convenience Collection Center on Perkins Road. During this event, the residents are encouraged to drop off any household pollutants for free. Accepted items include oil-based paints, pesticides, herbicides, household cleaning products, pool chemicals, and more. The Convenience Collection Center will still accept regular trash and recycling that day. Trailers and commercial waste are not allowed, and yard waste is not accepted during this event. For more details, see stillwaterok.gov/HHW.
Thank you. Counselor Harden?
Lexicon is back and better than ever. For those who do not know what Lexicon is, it's the City of Stillwater's Cultural District free mini comic convention for the fans of comic books, science fiction, games of all times, cosplay, anime, and pop culture. Events are scheduled from Thursday, October 23rd through Saturday, October 25th, with the main event Saturday from 10 to 4. And it will be at multiple locations, including the library and the community center. Before the main Lexicon event begins on Saturday, join us at 3 p.m. in the Simmons Bank Pavilion at Block 34 for the release of, I'm not going to get this right, Shamai Toshi, which is brewed by Iron Mike in honor of the 40th anniversary of Stillwater's Sister Cities partnership with Kamioka, Japan. This will be another great event for a good time for all. And even if you don't go, you should go look at the costumes that walk around town. They're well worth looking at. For a full list of events and details, go to stillwaterok.gov/lexicon.
Thank you. And I will let you all know that there will be holiday celebrations at Block 34. So let's celebrate the holidays on December 6th. I'm ready for it already. On Saturday, December 6th, from 6:30 to 8:30, come enjoy our holiday heroes and drone shows, visit with Santa, ice skate on Irvy Lane. That's so exciting. Take pictures inside a snow globe and get some great treats from food vendors. Many thanks to our sponsors, Visit Stillwater and Stillwater Chamber of Commerce, for helping us with these great events. Save the dates and join us for some holiday cheer. There's just so much happening all the time at Block 34. I was sad that our concert series is over. This last weekend was the last concert series date for the fall, but so much happening. Exciting to see that moving into the holiday season as well. I think that takes us to the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the city council meeting. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the city council meeting is adjourned. At this time, I will call to order the Stillwater Utilities Authority meeting agenda. Takes us to item 2, the consent docket. Is there a motion or discussion on the consent docket?
Motion to approve consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the consent docket is approved. We have no further items on the Utility Authority's meeting agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the Stillwater Utilities Authority's meeting. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the Utilities Authority meeting is adjourned, which takes us to the Stillwater Economic Development Authority meeting. I will call that meeting to order. Is there any motion or discussion on item 2, the consent docket?
Motion to approve consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the consent docket. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the consent docket is approved, which brings us to item 5, the Chamber of Commerce quarterly report. Ms. Moore.
Oh gosh, that was painful. Sorry, y'all. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. Glad to be back as always and super excited. We always have great things to report, which makes it feel like it's just a good thing to do. As always, we want to start with our mission and our core values. I know last quarter we presented on our strategic plan that is live at the Grow Stillwater website, which is www.growstillwater.org, if anybody wants to see it. We've also started doing a couple of different things. Last quarter, I wanted to kind of explain what all economic development touches. And if you guys remember, I had that cool web, and it touched a million things that didn't even cover everything. And so each time I want to give a shout out to the people we work with, because all of those aspects in that web take people on this page to run. And so when we talk about economic development being collaborative and it taking partners, these are the partners that we're talking about. So Meridian, the regional airport, Visit Stillwater, Department of Commerce, Select Oklahoma, Greater Oklahoma City Chamber, the city here, right? Nobody can do economic development on their own. And I think it's important for our community to remember that as we talk about wins and we talk about progress, that happens as a group effort. And a lot of those people come from our Economic Development Committee as well. So if you're not following us on social media to see who's in that committee, we would encourage you to, and would also encourage anybody to get involved with the chamber so they can join that committee as well if they're interested in hearing what's going on. One of the things that we're most excited about is we had the opportunity with the Department of Commerce to apply for what was called the Community Marketing Partnership Program through the state, which is similar to the Oklahoma Innovation Expansion Program that we talked about last month for small businesses, except this one's geared at communities, and it gives them an opportunity to market their community, and the state's helping them tell their stories. So we partnered with Visit Stillwater and the regional airport and came up with this ad. This is the ad that will be in the Thunder magazine, and it actually, that QR code, if you were to scan it, goes to a link tree, and that link tree will get you either to the airport website to visit or to our economic development website. So anybody that looks in that and that's interested in more about Stillwater, not only will we see that they've done it, but we'll see where they're looking from, and that's going to help us with our marketing efforts as well. Some of the programs that we did last quarter, we started our Regional Economic Development Roundtable. So as Stillwater knows, we benefit from our rural communities outside of Stillwater quite a bit. And we felt like it was important not only for us within the county to bridge those county partnerships, but to also look at those other communities that don't have an economic development arm. We get a lot of benefit from our regional partnership with the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber, and they have access to resources that we wouldn't be able to get on our own. So how do we pay it forward? How do we be good stewards? How, as Stillwater is seeing projects come through the pipeline, if they don't work for us, can they work for them, and can we connect them to those opportunities? But additionally, if we have needs in Stillwater that maybe we can't make happen right away, and we know some of these other communities are, we can. So we've started a roundtable. It was very well attended. We were very excited. We had representatives from Cushing, Perkins, Perry. We had, who am I forgetting, Brady? I can't remember. Anyway, we had a lot of good, really represented, and our county commissioners attended, which was also really, really exciting. We also hosted our first Making the Most of Your Commercial Real Estate Investment panel discussion. That was huge. As we know, commercial real estate is a huge part of economic development, and we need to provide the people that have invested in those assets in our community with resources and conversations and a lot of tools. And so we actually had a great panel come. Some of them are, well, they're just really, really influential people that know a lot about the industry, and we've been asked to host more of those. So the next one's going to come out and it's going to have a financial focus. So we're excited about that. And then our small business university graduated. So we had 19 in the cohort this year. Of those 19, 17 graduated. Some of their logos are mentioned here, but we put that program on in partnership with Meridian and the Riata Center at OSU. So we're super grateful for them and excited to see what those graduates do. I know that Stilly Arts actually won first place in our pitch contest, and with the funds, she actually put together the Paint in the Dark event that happened at Block 34. So a good community event to continue getting people out to that space and learn about different art that they could do. Questions, comments, concerns so far? Okay. We've had a lot of really great site visits. I was able to actually take that picture on the right from an actual site visit. You guys can see there that we are with Meridian at the Meridian site, and I can't stress what a great asset Meridian Technology is to our community and their partnership in that. So that project is moving forward quite well. Department of Commerce actually went to that company's location in another country to look at how that facility is, look at that business's structure, and they're very excited that Stillwater is still their number one pick for onshoring into the U.S. So we're excited to have them potentially making that announcement soon. We also participated in the Site Selectors Guild virtual roundtable. This allowed us to actually meet one-on-one with site selectors in a virtual format. It was done in our partnership with the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber. We went as a region, and we really got to talk about each of our communities within the region and had great feedback and had good follow-ups with some of those site selectors. And then we attended the Southern Economic Development Council conference that was actually hosted in Oklahoma City this year. So all good things happening. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, and coming soon. So we are entering into our agreement with the Center on Rural Innovation, Corey, so that's very exciting for us. Not only from a data perspective, they're going to help us tell Stillwater's story through the numbers, but the resources and what's going to come through that for continued workforce opportunity in our community is huge. We are hosting our Economic Summit November 14th. I hope you all plan to be there. It's going to be a great conversation. So we're actually going to have the state come in and talk about how economic development is being done at the state level. Then we're going to have Eric Long with the regional partnership come talk about what does our region look like by the numbers, and then I'll give a brief update on how things are going here in Stillwater. So we're going to give a great overview of all things economic development. Part of our business retention and expansion visits, meeting with some of our employers, we have a lot of people that are moving to Stillwater from either different parts of the countries or different countries. And so how do we do a better job with employee retention and getting them ingrained in getting to know how great our community is? So one of the requests that has come from that is, how do we get these people together? And so we're going to host a New to Stillwater mixer where we'll have local community resources, whether it's programs that they want for their families, whether it's things that they want for themselves. How do they get involved with our nonprofits? How do they find out whatever it is that they're needing? So we're partnering with some of our larger employers to put that on. And then last but not least, we have been selected to host the All In for Oklahoma meeting in March of 2026. So this is a great opportunity for us. The state will come the night before. This is good for them to see our community. They'll tour our sites. They'll get an idea. So even when we can't be at some of these site selector conferences, our state entity that does recruitment is able to say, hey, wait, this might be a good project or a good fit for Stillwater. So we'll host them here the night before. And then the very next day, we actually we host anybody that is involved in economic development in any form can come to that quarterly meeting throughout the state. So sometimes it's other city councilmen, sometimes it's county commissioners, sometimes it's Main Street, sometimes it's other EDOs. So we're excited to welcome all of them into Stillwater and show them all the great work that everyone's been doing. Comments, questions?
Can you give me the Cliff Notes version on the Corey, what they are and what they do?
The Center on Rural Innovation, yes, I can. Give me just 1 second to... Okay, shift gears. So the Center on Rural Innovation, the gentleman that started that, they are actually, well, I'm going to back up. we hosted, or we have been part of the Kaiser Foundation's 1050 Forward. So the Center on Rural Innovation is who actually did all the data analytics for that program. So not only are they a great resource on that side, but some of the things that we're working with them on is how do we take that information that they gathered and then implement it into sustainable practices in our community. So is that workforce training? Is it, do we need a business accelerator, which is kind of that in between from the incubator to those businesses standing on their own. So they do pretty much whatever a community needs. And they have great relationships with different data center partners. And so we're excited because they'll understand what are those workforce needs to help that workforce, but then also the technology and telecommunications sectors as well.
So do they have a full-time staff that does
They
this?
do,
Okay.
yes. Yep.
And bunches of, well, not bunches, but they have data scientists that work with them. And as a part of the 1050 Forward work, they developed a whole platform of data for micropolitan communities to understand more specifically the demographics and kind of workforce issues that are happening, and allows you to compare yourself to other micropolitans as well. So they've been a great force in terms of bringing forward data as a part of the storytelling that communities need to have in order to advance some of these workforce and job opportunities.
And
Cool,
so our
thank you.
goal is to take that information and then make actionable steps out of it of how do we utilize it? Now that we have it, what do we do with it?
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's all that I have for you guys. Anything?
That's
Counselor?
really it.
That's really it. I know. That's all.
I just
would
wanted to take a moment to brag on you all. I had an opportunity to go to the ribbon cutting for Kingspan, and I just can't tell you how many people came up to us and said what a pleasure it was to work with the Chamber of Commerce, and how impressed they were with you and with the staff at the Chamber, of course with the city as well, but they were glowing about you. And it just was such a sense of pride representing our city that day, knowing that we have such a great partner in that work, and just was just so grateful and thankful for that.
Thank you. They made it, truly, they really make it easy.
And you all have had some really just outstanding wins this year, and I love seeing that's not enough. There's just more and more that you're doing, and so I think that's great to see.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
I think that takes us to the end of our agenda for the Stillwater Economic Development Authority meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, our meeting is adjourned, and that concludes our meetings this evening.